Welcome to the module on nutritional status of children in India, learning outcome. This module titled Nutritional Status of Children in India aims to provide the learner with basic understanding about the current nutritional status of children in India. It also gives the learner an insight as to what are the various surveys conducted all over India to measure the nutritional status of children and the schemes which have been framed by the government to deal with the problem of malnutrition in India. Children of today are citizens of tomorrow, which is why it is extremely important to ensure proper healthcare facilities as well as adequate nutritional intake for the children. It is now globally acknowledged that investment in human resource development is a prerequisite for any nation. Early childhood, that is the first 6 years, constitutes the most crucial period in life when the foundations are laid for cognitive, social, emotional, language, physical and motor development and cumulative lifelong learning, according to Elizabeth Hurlock, 1978. The young child is most vulnerable to the vicious cycles of malnutrition, disease, infection and resultant disability, all of which influence the present condition of a child at macro level and the future human resource development of the nation at the macro level. India is one among the many countries where child malnutrition is severe, and also malnutrition is a major underlying cause of child mortality. Relevant definitions. The definitions relevant to the topic of the nutritional status of children in India are given below. This will enable a better understanding of the current position of children with regards to the nutritional intake, the methodologies used to measure their nutritional status and the widespread prevalence of malnutrition. The definitions as per Children in India, Government of India report of 2012 are as follows. Children. Biological definition. Childhood is the span of life from birth to adolescence. United Nations Convention on Rights of the Children. According to Article 1 of UNCRC, a child means every human being below the age of 18 years unless the law applicable to the child majority is attained earlier. Legal definition of child in India as taken from relevant statutes. The Census of India considers children to be any person below the age of 14, as do most government programs. Article 21 Clause A of the Indian Constitution states that all children between the ages of 6 to 14 should be provided with free and compulsory education. Under the Indian Majority Act of 1875, a person has not attained majority until he or she is of 18 years of age. This module basically deals with children between the age group of 0 to 6 years, as the nutritional status of the child in this time span plays an important role in their social, physical and psychological development. Moreover, most statistics on nutrition of children focuses on this age group. Nutrition. According to the World Health Organization, in the year 2013, nutrition is the intake of food considered in relation to the body's dietary needs. Nutrition can either be good or poor. Good nutrition. An adequate, well-balanced diet combined with regular physical activity is a cornerstone of good health. Poor nutrition can lead to reduced immunity, increased susceptibility to disease, impaired physical and mental development and reduced productivity. Malnutrition. The United Nations International Children's Fund UNICEF in the year 2006 has defined malnutrition as follows. Malnutrition is a broad term commonly used as an alternative to undernutrition, but technically it also refers to overnutrition. People are malnourished if their diet does not provide adequate calories and protein for growth and maintenance, or they are unable to fully utilize the food they eat due to illnesses. They are also malnourished if they consume too many calories. Nutritional deficiencies and resultant diseases. Nutritional deficiencies occur when a person's nutrient intake consistently falls below the recommended requirement. Children between 10 to 19 years of age face serious nutritional deficiencies worldwide according to the World Health Organization. Some of the diseases caused by nutritional deficiencies as given by the American Heritage Dictionary of 2000 are listed below. Beriberi, it is a clinical manifestation of thiamine, that is vitamin B12 deficiency. Symptoms include nervous system abnormalities, example leg cramps, muscle weaknesses, limb swelling, elevated pulse and heart failure. Pellagra, it is a disease caused by dietary deficiency of or a failure to absorb niacin, which is vitamin B3, or the amino acid tryptophan, a precursor of niacin. Pellagra means rough skin. Primary symptoms include the 3 Ds: dementia, mental symptoms, dermatitis, scaly skin sores and diarrhea. Osteoporosis, caused mainly due to mineral deficiency of calcium and vitamin D. This deficiency is characterized by a decrease in the mass of otherwise normal bone and is the most common metabolic bone disease. Rickets. Rickets is caused by a deficiency of vitamin D. During growth, human bone is made and maintained by the interaction of calcium, phosphorus and vitamin D. Calcium is deposited in immature bone in a process called calcification, which transforms immature bone into its mature and familiar form. However, in order to absorb and use the calcium available in the food, the body needs vitamin D. In rickets, the lack of this important vitamin leads to low calcium, poor calcification and deformed bones. Anemia. Anemia, caused basically due to nutritional deficiencies, is also a cause of major concern in India. Anemia is characterized by a lack of adequate amount of hemoglobin in the blood. A low level of hemoglobin interferes with the ability of the blood to carry oxygen from the lungs to other organs and tissues. Anemia in young children results in increased morbidity from infectious diseases, and it can result in impairments in coordination, cognitive performance, behavioral development and language development. Kwashiorkor. A severe malnutrition of infants and young children, primarily in tropical and subtropical regions, caused by deficiency in the quality and quantity of protein, characterized by anemia, edema, potbelly, depigmentation of the skin, loss or change in hair color, hypoalbuminemia and bulky stools containing undigested food. Marasmus, a form of protein energy malnutrition predominantly due to a prolonged severe calorie deficit, chiefly occurring in the first year of life, with growth retardation and wasting of subcutaneous fat and muscle. Methods used to assess nutrition in India. According to a statistical appraisal conducted by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India 2012 and the WHO report of 2013, the following anthropometric indices are taken to assess the physical development of children. Height for age. Inadequate height for age indicates stunting. Weight for height. Inadequate weight for height indicates wasting. Weight for age. Inadequate weight for age indicates underweight. Height for age stunting. Children whose height for age is below -2 standard deviations from the median of the reference population are considered short for their age, or in other words stunted, and are chronically malnourished. Children below -3 standard deviation from the median of the reference population are considered to be severely stunted. Stunting reflects failure to receive adequate nutrition over a long period of time. Height for age, therefore, represents the long-term effects of malnutrition in a population and does not vary according to recent dietary intake. Weight for height, wasting. The weight for height index measures the body mass in relation to body length and describes current nutritional status. Children who are below -2 standard deviation from the median of the reference population are considered thin or wasted for their height and are acutely malnourished. Wasting represents the failure to receive adequate nutrition in the period immediately preceding the survey and may be the result of inadequate food intake or a recent episode of illness causing loss of weight and the onset of malnutrition. Children whose weight for height is below -3 standard deviation from the median of the reference population are considered to be severely wasted. Weight for age is a composite index of height for age and weight for height. It takes into account both acute and chronic malnutrition. Children whose weight for age is below -2 standard deviation from the median of the reference population are classified as underweight. Children whose weight for age is below -3 standard deviation from the median of the reference population are considered to be severely underweight. Statistical data on current nutritional status of children in India and nutritional deficiencies. The intake of proper nutrition in case of a child is dependent upon the parent or guardian having the required economic capacity to provide the appropriate meal and in the absence of the same having suitable government schemes to fall back on. The lack of these essential requirements in India on a large scale has caused malnourishment to become a major cause of concern today. The data collected through several surveys conducted all over India are proof of the ever-growing problem of malnourishment among children in India. Statistical data as provided by the National Family Health Survey of India Phase 3 on malnutrition among children. According to a report on malnutrition by the Government of India in the year 2009, the percentage of children below 5 years classified as malnourished according to the 3 anthropometric indices used by the National Family Health Survey Round 3 of 2005 to 2006 is indicative of the significant malnourishment among Indian children. 48% of the children under age 5 years are stunted, that is, they are too short for their age, which indicates that half of the country's children are chronically malnourished. Acute malnutrition, as evidenced by wasting, results in a child being too thin for his or her height. 19.8% of children under 5 years in the country are wasted, which indicates that 1 out of every 5 children in India is wasted. 43% of children under age 5 years are underweight for their age. Underweight status is composite index of chronic and acute malnutrition. Statistical data from the National Family Health Survey of India Phase 3 on anemia amongst children. Anemia can be caused by a nutritional deficiency of iron and other essential minerals and vitamins, as well as infections such as malaria and sickle cell disease. Anemia among children under 3 years old was found to be extremely widespread at the time of National Family Health Survey Round 2, and the prevalence of anemia actually increased further between the National Family Health Survey round 2 and 3. From the Government of India report of 2009 on nutrition, it can be seen that the percentage of children with any anemia increased from 74% in the National Family Health Survey round 2 to 79% in National Family Health Survey round 3. 7 out of every 10 children aged 6 months to 6 years in India are anemic. 3% of the children aged 6 months to 6 years are severely anemic. 40% are moderately anemic and 26% are mildly anemic. Causes of malnutrition in India and surveys made to assess them. It is evident from the above statistics that malnutrition in India is a problem which has existed in India for decades. In order to ensure that proper steps are taken to deal with the same, it is essential that we understand the causes of the same and to be aware of the various institutions involved in assessing the nutritional status in India. Causes of malnutrition in India. Malnutrition among children cannot be explained by singling out a particular cause. It is the culmination of various factors which result in a child being malnourished. From the available literature in this area, some of the factors are lack of purchasing power of the parent or guardian due to the existence of widespread poverty caused by stunted economic growth resulting in inability to provide their children with nutritious meals. The percent of underweight children in the lowest wealth index category, that is 56.6%, is nearly 3 times higher than that in the highest wealth index category, that is 19.7%. Though there are several government schemes which have been framed in order to deal with the problem of malnourishment among children in India, these schemes lack proper planning and implementation by the government. Inadequate healthcare services provided to the poor, especially to those below poverty line, make it difficult to provide medical and nutritional facility to severe cases of malnutrition. Illiteracy among parents or guardians as to what is nutritious is also a major cause of malnourishment. High malnutrition of all types prevails in the group of illiterate mothers and mothers with less than 5 years education, according to the National Family Health Survey round 3. Absence of health education in school curriculum. Relevance and importance of breastfeeding practices not understood by all. For instance, span of time for which breastfeeding to be given to the child, importance of first milk and when to be given, etc. are not known to a lot of people. Nutritional status of pregnant and lactating mothers also has a direct effect on the nutritional status of the child. Example, anemic mothers give birth to children who are undernourished from birth itself. India has a large population of anemic mothers, thus increasing the number of malnourished children. It has been mentioned in a statistical appraisal conducted by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation that malnutrition among children is highest for underweight mothers, according to the Government of India report 2012. Surveys conducted to analyze nutritional status in India. Surveys to assess dietary intake and nutritional status of the population are essential to monitor ongoing nutrition transition and initiate appropriate interventions. In India, routine reporting of nutritional status by the health and social welfare functionaries is suboptimal. India has therefore invested heavily in periodic surveys to obtain data on nutrition transition. Given its size and variation, it is important that at least state level data are available. In view of the known inter-district variations in the same state and the current emphasis on decentralized district-based planning, implementation and monitoring of intervention programs, Efforts are currently underway to collect and report district specific data wherever possible. The most important surveys as outlined by Government of India Report 1993 are as follows. National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau, recognizing the need for good quality data for monitoring nutritional status, Indian Council of Medical Research ICMR in 1972 established the National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau in the National Institute of Nutrition NIN, Hyderabad. Since 1973, surveys carried out by the National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau have been a major source of data on diet and nutritional status of the Indian population. Food and Nutrition Bureau in the Department of Women and Child Development of the Ministry of Human Resource Development of the Government of India organized a survey in the year 1995 to 96 to obtain reliable nutrition profile of all districts in 18 states and union territories in which National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau was not conducting nutrition surveys. The India Nutrition Profile Survey used sampling design and survey methodology similar to National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau. Overall, 187 districts were covered in 18 states and union territories. India Nutrition Profile provides mid-90s data on dietary intake and nutritional status of all age groups in all states of the country in urban and rural areas. National Family Health Survey NFHS. 3 National Family Health Surveys have been conducted so far. National Family Health Survey 1 conducted in 1992 to 93, National Family Health Survey 2 conducted during 1998 to 99 and National Family Health Survey 3 conducted during 2004 to 2005 provided national and state level information on fertility, family planning, infant and child mortality, reproductive health, child health, nutrition of women and children, and the quality of health and family welfare services. The NFHS2 sample covers more than 99% of India's population living in all 26 states. It does not cover the union territories. The National Family Health Survey 2 is a household survey with an overall target sample size of approximately 90,000 ever married women in the age group of 15 to 49 years. Data on nutritional status of women and children from the NHFS 1, 2 and 3 provide information on time trends in prevalence of undernutrition in the last 15 years. In addition, the NFHS 2 provides information on dietary diversity among the women surveyed. District Level Household Survey DLHS. This survey is conducted by the Department of Family Welfare to assess performance under the Reproductive and Child Health Program. The first round was conducted in the year 1998 to 99 and the second round of the survey was conducted between 2002 and 2004. The survey used a systematic multi-stage stratified sampling. Stages of selection are districts, primary sampling units and households. 1,000 representative households were identified for the survey using appropriate sampling procedure from each district. Micronutrient surveys. The National Nutrition Monitoring Bureau and the ICMR have conducted micronutrient surveys at the subnational level during the last few years. In addition, the National Family Health Survey and DLHS provide information on the household availability of iodized salt and coverage under massive dose vitamin A program. Governmental efforts to curb malnutrition in India. There have been several schemes set up with the purpose of improving the nutritional status of children in India. Efforts have been made even during the pre-independence period, with the British administration introducing a midday meal program in 1925 for disadvantaged children in the Madras Municipal Corporation. Today, several efforts are being made by the government in affiliation to international institutes like Food and Agricultural Organization, World Health Organization and the UNICEF. However, the main schemes which have brought about a significant change in the field of malnutrition of the children in India are the Integrated Child Development Services ICDS scheme. The program adopts a multi-sectorial approach incorporating both health and education interventions. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is responsible for coordinating the ICDS and working with the state governments to monitor and evaluate the scheme's performance. In many states, panchayats have also been actively involved in the implementation and monitoring of the ICDS since the 73rd Amendment Act was passed in 1992. The Integrated Child Development Services scheme integrates several aspects of early childhood development and provides supplementary nutrition to children below 6 years of age as well as expectant and nursing mothers. The ICDS scheme objectives are as follows: to improve the nutritional and health status of children below the age of 6 years, to lay the foundation for proper psychological, physical and social development of the child, to reduce the incidence of mortality, morbidity, malnutrition and school dropouts, to achieve effective coordination of policy and implementation among various departments to promote child development, to enhance the capability of mother to look after the normal health, nutritional and developmental needs of the child through proper community education. Performance of the ICDS schemes. According to the data from the National Family Health Survey Round 3 conducted in 2005-06, there has been a marginal decline in stunted and underweight children under 5 years of age to the extent of 6 and 3 percentage points respectively. However, there was a 3% increase in wasted children. During the same period, children affected by severe anemia increased by 25%. Despite the moderate decline in infant mortality rates over the 3 national survey periods, the data reveals that more than 1 in 18 children die within the first year of life and 1 in 13 children die before they reach the age of 5, with the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes experiencing greater mortality rates. For the 11th plan period, the Ministry of Women and Child Development has adopted an outcomes approach for the implementation and monitoring of the program as opposed to the inputs approach that is typically used to monitor other government schemes. This will give states a framework to measure results and to monitor progress, and it is expected that the program will deliver better results with restructuring and improved design and implementation. The midday meal scheme. As per the Ministry of Human Resource Development, the Government of India report of 2013, the midday meal scheme is the world's largest school feeding program, reaching out to about 12 crore children in over 12.65 lakh schools or education guarantee scheme centers across the country. Midday meal in schools has had a long history in India. In 1925, a midday meal program was introduced for disadvantaged children in Madras Municipal Corporation. By the mid-1980s, 3 states, that is Gujarat, Kerala and Tamil Nadu and the Union Territory of Pondicherry had universalized a cooked midday meal program with their own resources for children studying at the primary stage. By the year 1990 to 91, the number of states implementing the midday meal program with their own resources on a universal or large scale had increased to 12 states. With a view to enhancing enrollment, retention and attendance and simultaneously improving nutritional levels among children, the National Program of Nutritional Support to Primary Education was launched as a centrally sponsored scheme on 15th August of 1995. Initially in 2,408 blocks in the country. Objectives of the midday meal scheme: improving the nutritional status of children in classes 1 to 5 in government, local body and government aided schools and EGS and alternative and innovative education centers. Encouraging poor children belonging to disadvantaged sections to attend school more regularly and help them concentrate on classroom activities. Providing nutritional support to children of primary stage in drought affected areas during their summer vacation. Progress made by the midday meal scheme. The midday meal scheme has been constantly modified by the Human Resource Development Ministry in order to face the challenges of a developing society. During the year 2009, the changes have been made to improve the implementation of the scheme. Food norms have been revised to ensure balanced and nutritious diet to children of upper primary group by increasing the quantity of pulses from 25 to 30 grams, vegetables from 65 to 75 grams, and by decreasing the quantity of oil and fat from 10 grams to 7.5 grams. Thus, the scheme is constantly being changed as and when required in order to ensure proper implementation, and various committees have been set up for its monitoring and evaluation. For the purpose of monitoring and evaluation, the Human Resource Development Department has constituted the following committees: National Steering cum Monitoring Committee, State Steering cum Monitoring Committee, Quarterly Progress Reports, State-wise Monitoring Mechanisms.
Can you take that again?
Okay.
As a ending statement.
Okay. State-wise Monitoring Mechanisms. Nodal Department of UNICEF. Department of Women and Child Development is the nodal department for UNICEF. India is associated with UNICEF since 1949 and is now in the 5th decade of cooperation for assisting most disadvantaged children and their mothers. Traditionally, UNICEF has been supporting India in a number of sectors like child development, women's development, urban basic services, support for community based convergent services, health, education, nutrition, water, sanitation, childhood disability, children in especially difficult circumstances, information and communication, planning and program support. India is presently a member on the UNICEF. National Nutrition Policy 1993. National Nutrition Policy 1993 was introduced to combat the problem of undernutrition. It aims to address this problem by utilizing direct, that is short term, and indirect, that is long term interventions in the area of food production and distribution, health and family welfare, education, rural and urban development, and women and child development, etc. The National Plan of Action for Children 2005 is by far the most comprehensive planning document concerning children. Its value is that it clearly outlines goals, objectives and strategies to achieve the objectives outlined and recognizes the needs of all children up to the age of 18. It is divided into 4 basic child right categories as per the United Nations Convention on the Rights of a Child: child survival, child development, child protection and child participation. The way forward. It is essential that in order to deal with this problem that some changes are brought in the schemes and also There should be a change in the roles played by local authorities, especially those which exist in rural areas, to curb this problem. Special importance should be given to monitoring and evaluation of efforts made by the different schemes so that there is proper implementation of these schemes. Recommendations for dealing with malnutrition in India. Some steps which can be taken in order to efficiently deal with malnutrition in India are: there is need for advocacy, awareness building and counseling regarding nutrition at various levels. Empower panchayats with the necessary human and financial resources in addition to adequate administrative authority with regard to all programs concerning or related to nutrition. Since the panchayat is transparent in its functioning, it can be made more accountable. Install and identify a catalytic institution at the block level for capacity building, monitoring, data collection and program management. This could be an agency such as an NGO or another organization that can enhance and work alongside the panchayat. ICDS needs to be in a mission mode with separate and adequate resources and authority. There is a great need for convergence at all levels. Funds should be given at the district level and monitoring and accountability should come into play at the same level as well as at other levels. Prioritize monitoring and surveillance in order to better assess problems as well as monitor the areas of improvement regarding nutrition. There is a need for national criteria on what information should be collected and how this should be done to ensure consistency in the data across the nation. It is well recognized that the first 24 months are the opportunity window for prevention of malnutrition in children. Data from the National Family Health Survey Round 3 shows that during the first 2 years, less than a third receive any services and the proportion receiving food and supplements were negligible. It is essential that the various schemes existing in India on nutrition for children give sufficient emphasis on proper dietary intake by this category of children, that is, children who are less than 2 years of age. Role of trained social workers. Social workers play an important role in bridging the gaps left by the government in reaching out to the malnourished. Some of the efforts which need to be taken by them are: to be well aware of the schemes present with regards to nutrition and make this knowledge available to underprivileged families, especially in the rural areas. To cooperate with the government and its various departments which are carrying out schemes so that there is better implementation. To create uniform modules on a regional level for social workers to follow while dealing with the problems of malnutrition amongst children. To create awareness among new mothers and pregnant women of the primary importance of breastfeeding as well as dietary intake, as it has a direct effect on the nutritional status of newborn and children in the age group of 0 to 2 years. Encouraging education of girls as a minimum of 5 years of schooling is a protective factor in preventing malnutrition of children. Conclusion: the consequences of child malnutrition for child morbidity and mortality are enormous, and there is an adverse impact of malnutrition on productivity, so that a failure to combat child malnutrition reduces potential economic growth at the macro level. At the micro level, malnutrition, both protein energy malnutrition and micronutrient deficiencies, directly affects children's physical and cognitive growth and increases susceptibility to infection and diseases. It is obvious that there is urgent need to focus on the nutritional and overall development needs of children. Though efforts are being taken by the government to deal with this problem, it is essential that more schemes solely for the purpose of curbing malnutrition among children in India are set up soon along with improving the implementation of the existing ones. Summary: malnutrition in early childhood has serious long-term consequences because it impedes motor, sensory, cognitive, social and emotional development. Malnourished children are less likely to perform well in school and more likely to grow into malnourished adults, are at a greater risk for disease and early death. This module helps in finding out the current status of malnutrition among children in India and the steps taken by various departments to deal with them. Thank you for being a part of the module on nutritional status on children in India.